coming to our webinar, Meeting Mapper, Customer Success starts in the very first meeting. Here's some of our selected customers and partners that we work with daily. A Salesforce example for being one of them is our partner. Again, Point in Time is founded in 2011, based in Allen, Texas, which is about 25 miles north of Dallas on Highway 75. User base of about 42,000. That's mobile and our Salesforce app. And we got about 1 million meetings completed with Meeting Mapper. That's all over the world and 65 countries. Pretty proud about that. So go back, how does Meeting Mapper drive customer success? You unlock the meeting insights. What's hot? Almost as a real-time survey coming out of your meetings from your teams that captures information in real time and populates a dashboard. What's not? What's not resonating with your customers? We deal with hidden signals in meetings. That's not, waving your hands or anything. Those are subtle, somebody paying attention, or somebody being distracted, or the questions that they're asking, or answers that you're getting back, and how you're getting them back. And Meeting Mapper captures all that, again, 100% natively in Salesforce. And again, ask questions as necessary, or as you want. So I'm going to give you a high-level overview of Meeting Mapper so you kind of get the grasp of what we're talking about when we start talking about meeting insights and things like that. So I'm going to go switch to my demo. As you can see, this is Meeting Mapper in Salesforce. Again, 100% native, which means that all our data resides in Salesforce. We don't have any servers anywhere. We don't know what information you're getting, what you're storing, or anything. It's all 100% native in Salesforce. So you can see we have the meeting attendees on the left-hand side, and they're color-coded based on their stance. These hidden signals or buying signals that you're getting during your meeting. Again, yellow is neutral, orange is undecided, yellow is green, blue is a participant, pink would be a no-show. Somebody said, hey, I'll be at the meeting, but didn't show up, and sometimes that's just as important. And then red as being against. Over here we have our type of meeting, the start time, which we configured in Salesforce, where we can send out meeting invitations with Meeting Mapper right from here. What are the objectives of the meeting? Did we meet them? What are the insights? Again, what's hot and what's not. Let's do this after, along with the score of the meeting. You score it, but also justify the score. We can take individual takeaways. What this means is everybody in a meeting has something different that they want to get out of the meeting. You can document these very easy in Meeting Mapper. So when you go back in, when you're doing your demo, you can make sure that you highlight these to each and every participant in order to convey your message or to get them to want to buy your product. And then at the end, you can say what comments they did see it, they didn't see it, so I can follow up with my customers and ensure that I show them what they need to look at or what they want to see. We have the notes. We have two different types of notes. We have internal notes and public notes. Public notes for everybody can see. Internal notes are only for the account team, not for the customer to see. We separate the data for you. We have Actionable Intelligence. What this is, we give the tabs to you, and then you complete the answers to the question. For example, what actions are coming out of the meeting? What decisions are coming out? And you put these in here. It's all based on your methodology. For the open issues, for example, business drivers, who are the competitors? And we feed the competitor section of the opportunity with this information. So you can keep track of their strengths in the meetings that you're having with your customers, and then you can eventually put all that information in the database and create some kind of wiki or battle plan against the competitor. What are the pain points? What are your strengths? What are your weaknesses? What are the obstacles to success, the objections and again, the why buys. So again, those hidden things in the meeting that you've never been able to capture, or at least if you did, you were never able to put them in Salesforce and use them to your benefit to have success with the customer. We can export meeting reports after the meeting very quickly to the customer and the account team. We can schedule a new meeting and we can clone a meeting. And then we also have the political map, which allows me to very quickly look at not only the org chart, but the political map of the org chart. Who reports to who, what's been their stance, what's been their role. And for example, that I found out that Steve over there in their double is reporting to Steve, and then I can realign him right here inside Meeting Mapper. So it's a quick political org chart inside Meeting Mapper. So I'm going to jump back in the presentation. Any questions? Anything so far? Great. So what are meeting insights? Again, these are pre-configured by you. We don't provide the insights. We provide the mechanism for you to be able to capture the insights. It could be about a product. It could be about solution features within that product. For example, send a calendar is a feature that you want to track to customers like this as a feature. Visual representation of your meetings. Do they like that as a feature inside of your product? Mobile support. They like mobile support of your product. So you're trying to capture these. So when you go into a meeting or you have a new salesperson, you can say, hey, talk about these things because these are resonating. Don't talk about things that don't resonate. There could be marketing and sales messages. Marketing could be ease of use, increased user adoption, product improvement. It could be the roadmap. If you want to, I could go out to a customer and start talking about product roadmap, and I'm getting feedback that I'm 180 degrees off of what customers are looking for. So I can gather this information with meeting insights and then populate that into my dashboards, and they get that downstream information and able to make business decisions very quickly based on feedback. One of them being offline capabilities, survey capabilities coming out of the product. So these meeting insights are very powerful, and you've never been able to capture those before and actually use them in Salesforce to drive product direction, onboarding, executive dashboards of what's going on inside your environment and all your meetings with your customers. So how do meeting insights, kind of the flow of them? So you have meeting insights, and you can have 10 meeting insights per template. You can have as many templates as you want, and a template would be, I have a discovery meeting. What do I want that's kind of canned in that discovery meeting template? I can have the goal of the meeting. I can have the prerequisites of the meeting. I need people to do this before the meeting, and we can send an email out, and the goal and objectives. So what are those three? Those are the things that I want in the template. That way I can ensure consistency amongst my team for meetings. With those templates, you also can put meeting insights. Again, 10 per template, very easy to do. And you can change those at any time based on your business or solutions or marketing messages or sales messages. They're not etched in stone. You can, at any time, and start tracking those. So when I'm in the meeting, I do what's hot, the top three, and what's not, bottom three. You may want to put, sometimes I don't choose any that are at the bottom because everything resonates, nothing really sinks to the bottom. And sometimes they do, and I'll just select one or two. But the top three, I try to select those every time. When I'm done with the meeting, then I capture this information in Salesforce, and it's all structured data, and I can produce real-time meeting insights in a dashboard. I can get the current month current month, and current quarter. So as an executive or a manager or marketing, I can look at these and instantly see what's resonating to say, okay, let's do an email campaign, let's do the social media. When I bring on a new rep, let's talk about this from an onboarding perspective. So this wealth of information is at your fingertips to make strategic business decisions based on tactical interactions with your customers or potential customers. So we look at meeting insights, for example. These are some of the ones I have with my template. You can have, again, 10 per template. You can modify it any time based on your business and solution product as they evolve. And what I do when I'm in with my meeting and I check completed for the meeting, I choose my top 3. I just click on them and it'll bring them over. I then choose my bottom 3. Again, if nothing really sticks to the bottom, then you don't have to make any selection here. Then I just hit done, and then it updates Salesforce immediately right inside of Meeting Mapper. Again, you don't have to leave Meeting Mapper to be able to do this. So what do I track? These are the insights that I'm tracking, and these are what I'm getting in real time. Meeting Mapper ships with their dashboard called What's Hot and What's Not. You can quickly see what's resonating in all your meetings. It's just, or you can slice and dice however you want to your meeting capabilities. Or what do you want to gather from a team perspective? Maybe you have a region that you want to see what's tracking versus East versus West, because some things may resonate for customers in the East Coast that don't resonate in the customers for the West Coast. So you're able to take this information and see what it is to be able to modify your selling strategy, your methodology, or your marketing scheme or messaging. Because I know right now that if I want to talk about something, I want to talk about the thing that's really resonating, which could be the meeting exports, for example, or the meeting insights. And I know to talk about this, and I bring somebody on in the company as a new rep, I say, you know what, talk about this because customers like this. I either can base the insights on a template. And again, a template can be attached to a phase of an opportunity. So what's going on now is I can say, okay, from the discovery perspective, in my discovery phase, this is a template that I'm using. Here's what's resonating. And again, this is what you need to talk about in this phase of an opportunity. Or I want to send out an email campaign to customers or prospects that are in this phase to help them push them to the next phase. Again, the marketing campaigns, very big, using meeting insights along with social media and sales executives. Again, the onboarding reps makes it a lot easier, a lot quicker, and they know what to talk about to their customers because they know what's resonating in real time. So unlock the hidden signals in your meetings. We don't mean, waving your hands, hand gestures, those signals, stop, go. These are more what information's coming out of there. Again, is somebody distracted? Nothing worse than having the decision maker on their iPhone or the decision maker on their iPad. It could be one or two things. One, they don't care about what you're talking about. Or two, they have something that they're trying to put out a fire. And then I go back to my champion because I realize that this person is distracted. So I go to my champion and go, hey, what went on? Why were they distracted? They can say, hey, they had a fire to put out. Great. Can we now schedule another meeting where we can have a one-on-one with this person because we need this person in our camp. It's very important that we understand what we're trying to sell and get them on our path. And again, for the first time, you're able to document these vital meeting attendee information inside Salesforce. We append all the information that we provide Meeting Mapper to the attendee record inside of Salesforce. We get the roles. We have 36 predefined roles in Meeting Mapper, and you can add your own based on your methodology. The stance, are they for, against, neutral, undecided, a no-show, or just a participant? Again, they're all color-coded based on the stance that you select based on the buying signals. And for the for and against roles, when somebody selects those based on your methodology, they need to also select why they say this person's for, or why is this person against. Sometimes knowing why somebody's against is as important as knowing why somebody is for. Now I need to figure out why are people against. I need to go ahead and figure out and try to either change my selling strategy, what I'm talking about. Again, it's very important. And the for is why somebody for. Normally, they said they'll buy it. That's usually the best. Level of participation. You know, they very interactive, hostile, confrontational, non-interactive, distracted. And you can put your own in here based on your methodology. But you're able to track that based on what you're gathering inside of this meeting or group of meetings to see is there a consistent theme with this person. Are they being distracted? Are they being hostile? If they're hostile, are they for the competition? Are they a champion for the competition? So now you can start getting all this information and storing it all in Salesforce. And again, it's reportable because Meeting Mapper gathers about 75 data points per meeting that you can run reports on and dashboards and track. We have another thing we call Actionable Intelligence. Again, those are those that we provide the tabs, we provide the questions, topics, you provide the answers that you want to track inside of your meetings. Again, 75 data points per meeting, so it shines a very bright light on the customer landscape. You can start looking at what's going on from healthcare to construction, how the customers are different in their meetings. What do you need to talk about in one vertical versus another? Very easy to do with Meeting Mapper. So identify and document the meeting attendees. It's not just somebody showed up for a meeting. It's what's their stance. They've got to have a stance. They're either for, against, neutral, or undecided, or they're just a participant. And when you do the for, again, you have to define the reason why. And if this person does not meet one of the criteria that you put in, the person's not for. They have to get best, neutral, or undecided. So it takes some of the happy ears away from the sales team. Again, the level of participation right here. Interactive, very interactive. And again, if you want to put something else in there, you can. It's very important to understand that Meeting Mapper maps to your methodology or your sales strategy or your sales process. You don't have to redo all your sales strategy or anything just to be able to use Meeting Mapper. We're able to map us to your methodology. If you choose somebody for a champion, that's a very coveted role in an opportunity because it's not just, hey, this person called me. It's what has this person done to earn the champion? Did they give me the competitive information? Did they tell me who the competitors are? Did they set up a call to an economic buyer but nobody else has had one yet? Again, I put all these reasons for, define them, and when they choose a champion role, they have to select one of the reasons why this person is a champion. Another thing that is, if I'm in a meeting and my boss knows I'm in a meeting, but he's not logged into Salesforce, but he wants to know what happened in this meeting, I can immediately export the meeting notes to him. He can look at them and go, oh, this person was for because they said they'll buy it. They're a champion because they got me the competitive information and access to the economic buyer. So he or she does not have to call me and say, why is this person for? I get it. They do what they got to do, and I'll continue to do what I've got to do. As you can add attendee notes for each individual meeting for that attendee, so you may be able to start tracking some things. You can also look down here, and it's the color-coded. We also have the name the company the person belongs to, because you might be in a meeting with, for example, I know 3 Mike Williams, and it may be a different company, but the same meeting. So now I can know who I'm talking to or who's in that meeting. And we do provide some basic LinkedIn support by that little LinkedIn icon, and you see the roles on the people right here. Any questions so far, comments? If you do, just go ahead and type in your question. I'll be able to answer. Give you a couple seconds if you want to type something in. We got one question is how long or how is it to install Meeting Mapper? Meeting Mapper installs in about 3 or 4 minutes. That depends on your connection speed. There's no pre-configuration at all required for Meeting Mapper. You just install it, and then there's post-configuration to be able to set up and define and roles and things like that. We do provide free training. We'll provide post-support configuration assistance, meaning we'll help you set up your templates. We'll help you, figure out your meeting insights, meeting prerequisites. So all of that is available to you as a service that we give at no charge to ensure that you use Meeting Mapper to its fullest potential. Another question is how many meeting attendees can be in a meeting? There is an unlimited number of people based on real estate in the meeting page. I personally have had a meeting that had 27 people in it that lasted about 4 or 5 hours, and I was able to take all the notes and everything with Meeting Mapper to be able to get that information. Another question is, the Meeting Mapper, when you use it in a live meeting, what happens? Well, to me, Meeting Mapper makes me more engaged in the meeting. Normally, I'm about 3 or 4 minutes into a meeting and I'm drawing a palm tree. I'm kind of out of it a little bit. But it's making me be engaged. It's making me want to fill in this information to be able to capture as much as I can. So A, I don't have to go back and do it again. Or B, it's important that I do capture it and it makes me just more of what's going on inside the meeting. So role, we have 37 predefined, just by the champion role, for example. Stance, we have predefined 6, and based on your methodology, and take away the happy ears. And what that does as a byproduct is ensure that your forecasts are probably more reliable because it's being based on methodology that you're instilling in your sales teams and not somebody, I think they like me because they said they like my shoes or something. So your forecasting gets more accurate because it's based on real information. And level participation, again, 5, and you can add or delete anytime that you want. So unlock the actionable intelligence. Again, this is, we have customers that really, they just want to be able to capture this actionable intelligence. They may not take many notes at all in the meeting or not even do the individual takeaways, but they would just want to capture this actionable intelligence. It's very quick and easy because, again, it's all drop down. One question is, can you use Meeting Mapper? Do you have to use the whole thing at one time, or you can kind of bring it in from an implementation perspective? Well, with Meeting Mapper, we kind of abide by the crawl, walk, run methodology, where what do you want your users to use? You just want to be able to start tracking activity and put your meeting in Salesforce and take basic notes. Don't worry about putting anybody in the meeting. Just start documenting some of it. That can be the call. Walk would be adding meeting participants, being able to do their stance, their role, maybe actionable intelligence, and maybe the run would be the full bore of everything with Meeting Mapper. The good thing is you're starting to get this information little by little inside of Salesforce. You're going to have much more than you ever had before, just from a crawl perspective. Some people will do run quicker than others, but you'll see a very good adoption of Meeting Mapper because there is that ability to crawl, walk, run. So we have 8 configured tabs. And Meeting Mapper provides the tabs again, and you provide the sections. And it's important that you provide sales responses based on your methodology or what's important for you to capture in the meeting. Very, very critical. Easy to use with the drop-down selections, and some of these drop-downs or some of the tabs have drop-downs. They also have a rich note text form. So if what they want to capture is not in that drop-down, the user can input that data, you can capture it inside a Meeting Mapper. And again, we have customers that use Actionable Intelligence for a quick meeting. Hey, get on the phone with somebody and open Meeting Mapper up, start a meeting right now, and bam, you can go ahead and start gathering that information. A good point to make, you can link a meeting to a lead, and if that lead transitions into an account, we'll take all those meetings that you had and put it in that account so you'll be able to review when you start building out an opportunity. You link a meeting to an account, a case, a campaign, and an opportunity. All those map to the standard Salesforce objects. So Meeting Mapper just doesn't put this information in that meeting page. We feed Salesforce with all this actionable intelligence and actionable data. You can see up here that you've got notes and internal notes. That's just what I want to look at. You can predefine these fields, what's important for you to want to look at. We update open activities. We update activity history. We update the contact roles of an opportunity. We update the competitive, who is a competitor, strength and weaknesses, and notes and attachments. We not only update that, we'll update the parent of that child. For example, an opportunity will update the account. So all your meetings are linked, for example, an opportunity, scheduled activity, so now you don't have to go back and redo it. You get consistency of the data, single input, multi-output within Salesforce. You can even create a task in Meeting Mapper and send out the task to the person that it is assigned to. I can even update the status of that task in Salesforce right from Meeting Mapper. So I don't have to go back into my opportunity and update it or update it in my account. I can update it right in Meeting Mapper with the statuses that you have put in Salesforce if there's anything different from the predefined or the canned statuses in Salesforce. I can even reassign a task to somebody else in my organization. For example, maybe say I need customer references. Normally I wouldn't do that. I'll maybe send it to marketing. So I can assign that person to marketing this task. They would get an email, and then they can put it on their calendar, and it's also on their Salesforce as a task. Again, it's important to keep everybody informed from the customer perspective, what we talk about, and also from the private to my managers, my account team, my extended account team. What did we talk about? Who was for? Who was against? We have questions of when would people normally use Meeting Mapper? Myself, I like to plan out the meeting as much as I can beforehand. I try to fill in as much information that I know or I can glean or gather before I have the meeting. And depending upon, is there somebody else on my team there or am I by myself, I may print out the private export and take that with me as my punch list of what I want to talk about, or take notes on it and then go back into Salesforce and enter it. Or you can open the browser. People don't have a problem with folks using a browser anymore in a meeting or an iPad. You can use Salesforce One mobile app, and then we also have our Meeting Mapper mobile app where you can do your meeting disconnected and then sync it into Salesforce right away. That is free on iTunes, and it's called Meeting Mapper. To be able to sync it to Salesforce, you have to have Meeting Mapper in the back end in Salesforce. But you can, do your meetings with it. It's very similar to what we have in Salesforce. So again, these are the public and private exports. Another thing I want to talk about is you can brand Meeting Mapper to your company. You can put your logo instead of our logo. When you send out a meeting invite, it can have your logo. When you send out these exports, it can have your logo. When the meeting agenda, the invites, everything can have your logo, so you can really brand it to your particular company. Another thing we do is we've had customers ask us about, well, I like to do account review, opportunity review with Meeting Mapper. How do we do that? I don't really want to bring up a PDF. So what we decided to do was what we call meeting recap. And a meeting recap is just a Salesforce-looking view of the meeting from the most recent to the first meeting. So all I have to do is I can click on it. I've got the name. The flags indicate yellow that there's somebody in this opportunity or in this meeting that can jeopardize it. Red flag indicates that there's somebody in this opportunity that can kill the whole opportunity on their own. They're at a certain role and stance that they can put the kibosh on the whole thing. I know what account it's linked to. I've got my political map. I can click on notes and look at the notes. What are the meeting insights? What actionable intelligence was gathered? So now I can use this for a couple of things. One, account and opportunity review. I can use it for bringing on a new rep. One thing we like to tout is disaster recovery for sales. That if I lose a rep in the middle of an opportunity, and what normally happens, I push it, the opportunity, I pull it, all the information goes out the door, competition comes in, they smell blood in the water, or I have to take it and I have to close it. If there's no information in Salesforce, good luck. So you're able to take this or take the export, take 25 minutes and save your quarter. Because now I know who's for, who's against, everybody in the meeting, whoever we've interacted with, and be able to close this opportunity in the same amount of time that if I was the original salesperson. So again, great for QBRs. We have customers that are going to pull information out of Meeting Mapper and then populate a PowerPoint for QBRs and reduce the effort that the sales folks take to generate these documents every week, every quarter, or every month. Again, onboard new accounts and account team planning and opportunity planning. Very, very good for that. So the value at all levels of the organization, from the VP of sales, operations, marketing, and product, because now I can look in Salesforce and really see why I bought Salesforce. You know, a lot of times it's a contact database that people use to generate marketing activities. But what happens if you generate marketing activities, you get these leads? What do you do with them? How do you know you're nurturing those leads? So from the VP of sales, I like the detailed and accurate information. And it's consistent. It's not the same, but it's consistent, reliable data amongst all my teams. I like the actionable intelligence. I like the what's hot and what's not. You know, sales performance metrics. I don't care if the teams are doing activity. I want to see what's going on inside of the activity. That's what's important, the activity. Director of sales, again, the same information. As the director, that's very important. Sales manager. Now I can do team mentoring. I've got a sales rep and an opportunity, and we track meetings based on the stage of an opportunity, and he's got 4 meetings to ID the decision maker. Odds are, A, it's not a deal, or B, I need to help him get to the right level so now I can mentor him. And I can track team activity in real time. And as an account rep, I don't have my boss breathing down my throat, hey, update Salesforce. Or call me right after a meeting, and I've already got my mind set on another meeting that I got to go to, and I'm trying to regurgitate what I just had this meeting about. So that's what's important at all levels of the organization that use Meeting Mapper. So some of our customer results is 2% increase in data storage. Well, 2%, that's not a lot. That's a lot of data. We've got one customer that they did 100 meetings in 4 weeks. They had about 30 sales teams, and they're up to about 600 meetings now. The 500% transparency, you'll never have more information about an account or an opportunity as you will with Meeting Mapper, because you're able to capture all that information, and it doesn't become some kind of pie in the sky information. It's right there in Salesforce. You get a return on investment in weeks, not months. One rep leads, big deal, $100,000, $200,000 deal. Meeting Mapper will pay for itself forever based on information that we provided that new person taking that account. And your sales team will be more productive because when they go to the meeting, they'll be better prepared. They'll have better meetings because they'll have the cheat sheets. What do I need to get to? What's the essence of what I need to do to get this opportunity to close? So it helps them funnel their energy. So kind of summary, it gets your increased usage of Salesforce, transparency into account, understanding of your customers and prospects, much more data to track PKIs or KPIs, increase revenue and protect your revenue one meeting at a time. We have a question of how much is Meeting Mapper. Meeting Mapper is $15 per user per month, a year subscription that uses the app or needs visibility into the meetings. We do abide by all Salesforce security standards. We have passed numerous security reviews from Salesforce. We're on the App Exchange. So that's, what is it? You said you attended this webinar. We'll give you 10% off the first year for all your users, and we really look forward to that. So, Meeting Mapper, you can start your trial today. We have 2-week free trials, or you can request a demo. And again, we support our trials just as if you were a paying customer, because it's important for us, for you not only to want to trial it, it's to use it and build it more, expand inside your environment. Because what we found out is not only do sales teams use it, but internal teams are using it to track their meetings in Salesforce. So I can have internal meetings, project related, or maybe even related to an opportunity. There's no customer, it's just an internal team. We can gather all that and track inside of Meeting Mapper. If I want, again, it stays all in Salesforce.